In this episode of 5 Question Friday, we're talking about dealing with no-shows, how coaches can make more money, 5 steps to raising your prices, managing daily tasks, and fixing a broken coaching team. Let's jump in. Hey guys, Ty here from Vibe Group. Welcome to another episode of 5 Question Friday, my favorite episode of the week, where you guys ask questions, I have a go at answering them, and this week we've got some massive questions, so let's not waste time. Let's jump in. Let's get right to it. First question. Our morning classes are full and now we're having problems with people booking in and not showing up. How do we stop no-shows without upsetting the members? Oh, I love this question. This is one of the trickier things to balance as a gym owner. But first thing I want to say, because this can be kind of stressful, you get members that are upset. First thing we have to acknowledge is awesome work. This is a great problem. This was the goal. Don't forget, when you started this class, the goal was to fill the class. So you filled the class. Great work. Well done. Pat yourself on the back. Moving on to how do we deal with no-shows. This is a tricky one. We've got to be careful. Sometimes we want to use the carrot. Sometimes we want to use the stick. The stick won't work on this. You can't fix this problem by going in with force, being cranky, trying to be the dad or the mum and parent people. That's not going to work. People aren't going to react well to this. One of the worst things that I've seen done, and I know because I've done it more than once, I'm not that bright, is to put a no-show fee or a no-show penalty, where if people book in and then they don't turn up, they get charged a fee. This makes sense, logically, in a vacuum. This makes total sense. But your members do not react well to it. I've seen it done a bunch of times. I've almost never seen it go well. So, how do we deal with it if we can't, give our members a smack behind the head? How do we deal with it? We have to focus on the community. If it's us asking the members, saying, hey guys, as a box owner, could you please not book in for a class and then not show up? It really makes it hard for me as a boxer. That's not going to resonate with the members, right? You need to put them as part of the community. You need to get them to understand how their actions are affecting everyone else. One of the traps that's very easy to fall into, especially if you've been doing this a long time, is without realizing it, you kind of think the worst of people. You assume that people have ill intent and you assign it to them with no real reason. The truth is, most people, especially your members, are really great people. If they're doing something that's kind of a dick move, it's probably because they don't know it's a dick move or they don't understand the extent that it affects other people. So my best advice here is focus on the community aspect of this. Focus on how this is affecting the other members, not you as a business. They don't care about you as a business. They care about the person to the left and the right of them in their class. So express this with a video. I like expressing everything with a video because you get to see this. You get to see the subtext. You get to feel what the person feels when they're saying it. If you put this out as an email, your members will read it in a way that they choose, and it probably won't be a great way. They'll probably see it as coming across as a bit of a, you have to turn up to club. You're not going to get a great response out of that. Just, you don't need all of this crap. Just pop your phone out and do a quick video saying, hey guys, look, I know sometimes it can be hard. You intend on going to a class and life comes up and you can't make it. But I also know that sometimes you book in for a class way ahead of time, and then you just forget or you don't think it really matters if you book out of that. The truth is, that might be the only class that one of, XYZ CrossFit or whatever your gym's name is, members, the friends of yours, the people you train with, that might be the only class that week that they can make. They might really need that class. They might be having a shitty week at home, a shitty week at work, and this is what's going to make it better for them. But they can't turn up to that class because we didn't take time to unbook ourselves from that class, to free up that spot. So I'm asking you guys, look, I know shit can happen sometimes and you can forget, but do your absolute best. This isn't about us as the gym. It's not about the coaches. It's about the people you train with to the left and right of you. We've got to look after each other. We've got to make sure everybody gets a chance to train whenever they can. So please, guys, I'm asking you, if you can't make a class, make sure that you unbook yourself from that class the day before, the night before. Please, we're doing this for each other. Something along those lines. If you come at it honestly, if they can see that you're not angry, you're not going, you selfish bastards. They can see that you're being honest. This comes from the heart. You mean it when you say, hey, man, I want everyone to be able to train. I don't want you guys to stop each other from training because you forgot to unbook. If they can feel that in a video, it's going to have way more effect. If you have a repeat offender, that's where we take it from the video to person, one-on-one. Just pull them aside. You're not going to get angry. Again, the angry approach, the forceful approach, the stick, It's just not going to work. I know, I've done it. I was an angry guy for a long, long time. It absolutely doesn't get the result that you want. Pull them aside, talk to them person to person. That usually does the trick. If they keep doing it and you've talked to them and they just don't give a shit, this is absolutely grounds to kick a member out. I will not hesitate to do this at all. But I'm going to try everything I can leading up to that to make sure that they get it. So, great problem to have. Don't go in and try and dad people and force it down their throats. Approach it from a community point of view, how it affects the other members, not how it affects you and your business. Do a video so that people can feel what you're trying to say. And if they keep doing it, talk to them in person. If they keep doing it, consider kicking them out of the gym. It's totally worth it. Awesome question. Appreciate that. Ooh, take a breath. All right, question number 2. This is a good one. Any advice for me as a coach to A, earn enough to keep this as a career option, and B, make myself more valuable to the gym without just pouring more hours into taking classes? I love this. I love coaches, right? But one of my pet peeves is when coaches approach the job like they turn up on the hour, they teach the movements, and then they leave as soon as the class is over. That's not what we're looking for. That's a movement coach. All you're there is, here's how you do the deadlift. Yay, 30 seconds left, guys. Time, high fives, and they're out. I want more from my coaches. Yeah, every box owner does. So if you're a coach listening to this, you've really got to put in a little bit more effort. If you want more from the box, you've got to be able to give more. So first tip, get invested in the box's success. Understand that if this box isn't successful, it doesn't matter how good you are as a coach. They just won't be able to afford to pay you. The money just won't be there to pay you more, to give you more hours. So sit down with the owner. The owner should be organizing this themselves, but you can absolutely take initiative on this. Sit down with the owner and say, hey, look, I want to be a part of the box. I want to know how I can help more. You know, where do I fit in here? So get invested in the box's success. If you treat it just like a job that you turn up to, you do your hour, you bugger off, it's not going to work. You know, this is a give and get type thing. Second tip, be more valuable as a professional coach. Not just a movement coach, not just someone who knows the A to Z of movements, teaches people, does workouts, right? So approach this, take pride in what you do, in every aspect of it, right? You absolutely, as a coach, I know you take pride in your knowledge of the movements and your ability to get people to do those movements safely and effectively and hit PRs. I know you take pride in that, but how much pride do you take in your presentation, right? Your grooming, your uniform? How much pride do you take in your handwriting on the whiteboard? How much pride do you take in setting the class up before class so that everything moves smoothly so your members can spend more time doing what they pay for and less time, setting crap up? How much pride do you take in your abilities as to coach people on their mindset? To the off the floor stuff, the non-physical side of being a coach. Take pride in being a coach as a profession, not just as a job. And then lastly, try and find ways, talk to the gym owner and try and find ways that you can bring more value to the business outside of just coaching, right? So what do you love? What does the business need? Where do these cross over? It might be in retention. Do you you love your members and it bums you out so much when they don't turn up? You are probably the perfect person to be in charge of retention. So offer that up. That will give as much, if not more, value to the gym than just your coaching hours. So bring that up, see if you can help the gym out in that space. Do you love telling stories and recording videos and taking photos? Then maybe you can help out with the marketing and the content creation and sharing the stories of your members and their wins and their journey with the world. That's a massive benefit. So find what you love and what you feel like you can do well, what the box needs, sit down with the box owner, and start the conversation. In a perfect world, the box owner would be the one starting this conversation, but it's not a perfect world. Sometimes you have to take the bull by the horns. You have to take the initiative and get this started. So that's my 3 tips to how to earn more money as a coach and to make yourself more valuable to the gym. Get invested in the box's success. Be more valuable as a professional coach, not just a movement coach, and find other ways you can be more valuable to the business. Awesome question. I love that one. I want to hear more from coaches. I love the coaches' questions. All right. Next question. This is a big one. We spent this whole month working on this in the Vibe Tribe. I know I need to raise my prices, but I'm scared of messing it up. Help. I love it. Such a direct question. All right. So we've got a pretty set in stone process that we've done again and again and again for well over a decade in terms of raising our prices. I'll give you a very quick overview of it here because it did take us an hour to dive into it. But step number one, do the math, right? Most of the do the math process is about getting you more confident in the fact that you can do a price rise, that you're ready for a price rise, that you are worth more than what you're charging, and that it's not going to be the end of the world. It's so easy to think, man, what if we raise our prices and then half of our members leave and then we're screwed? Once we do the math, we can see that that's not going to happen and that we've actually got a pretty big margin for error. So there's a bunch of things that we look at, but the two main ones are if we raise our prices by this much and we have this many members, how much extra revenue is that per month? And then if we divide that by the new membership, how many members can we afford to lose before we go backwards financially? Now, I want to be really clear here. I hate treating members like a dollar sign. I hate treating them like a number, and we avoid it as much as possible. But every now and then, we have to be the accountant. We have to take the emotion out of the situation, and we have to focus on the reality. And the reality here is that once you've worked out how much extra revenue you're going to make, and once you've worked out how many members you would have to lose before that revenue dropped below where you are now, most boxes we're talking like 25, 30, 40, depending on the price rise, members would have to leave before you go backwards. Now, we don't want to lose any members. And if you do this well, you'll lose none or very, 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 very few members. Most of the time, people don't lose a single member. They have members come up to them and say, hey, about time you're charging what you're worth. That's a great feeling. But this is more about getting you out of that fear mindset of this is going to be the worst thing. This is all going to go wrong. We're going to catch fire and explode, and realizing, holy shit, if we raise our prices by that much, as long as we don't lose 25 members during the price rise, we're going to be ahead. Awesome. That gives you so much more room to move. Your margin for error is huge. You're not going to lose 25 members. You have to screw it up pretty badly to lose 25 members. So there's a lot of math that we do, but most of it is around giving you a little bit more confidence and clarity about the price rise and not being so scared of it all the time. Step two, structure the price rise. Really simple. We recommend, you can do it a bunch of ways, but we recommend a staggered price rise. So new members will pay this much now. Existing members will pay this much. The gap between them is pretty minimal. It's mostly there so that we can show our members, hey, we appreciate you. And whilst the price rise is necessary, we wanted to find some little way of saying thank you for your loyalty and for being part of the community. So we've transferred the majority of that price rise, or as much of that price rise, over to new members as possible. We couldn't avoid the price rise, but we've done it in a way where it affects the new members a lot more than you guys, because we're trying to keep things as fair as possible and say thank you. So a staggered price rise is our recommended structure. There's a bunch of ways you can do it, but to keep it simple, staggered price rise is the go. Excuse me. Next, we build value. All right. Now, we haven't announced anything yet. This is all just the planning phase. We build value. I want you to, number one, build value so that your members feel more comfortable with the price rise. If they can see every aspect of the gym is better than it was 6 months ago, a year ago, or for a lot of you guys out there, 5, 6 years ago when you did your last price rise. Yes, I know who you are. I'm talking to you. They'll feel a lot more comfortable with the price rise. They will not enjoy it. They won't be happy about it. Don't expect them to be happy about a price rise, but they'll at least understand it. They'll see where that value is coming from. But also, if you've just spent 6 months building that value, really working your ass off, blood, sweat, and tears, you're going to feel more confident about the price rise. You're not going to approach the announcement, hey guys, I'm really sorry. I know this sucks, but we have to do it. You're not going to be all meek and scared of the price rise. You're going to go, you know what? Look at what we've done to this gym. Fuck yeah, we're worth more. Yes, absolutely we're worth more. A price rise isn't going to be fun, but I don't doubt for a second that we're worth it. So again, a lot of this is about getting you as the gym owner to feel more confident about the price rise so you can approach it with that mentality. So there's a ton of ways we can build value, but the 3 phases we go through is, number one, your core service, which is coaching, how to make your coaching better. We're going to talk about that actually, I think, in question 4 or 5. Make your core service, your coaching, your programming, all of that stuff, make that better. Step number 2, the off-the-floor service, right? Whether it's your retention, your predictive retention, having someone at the front desk to make people feel special when they come in, whatever it is, the off-the-floor service, the stuff that makes you stand out from the gym down the road who's just a movement facility, work on that, systematize that, get it as fine as you can, create the best member experience that you possibly can. And then step 3, look at your facility. Now, this doesn't mean go out and spend 20 grand on new equipment. Most gyms, I don't want you to spend a single cent on new equipment, but the walls could absolutely do with a bit of a patch and a paint. It's amazing what a new coat of paint can do to a gym, how much it can make it feel like a brand new facility again. Same with your gear. Give your wooden plyo boxes, give them a sand down so they look brand new. Repaint your kettlebells so that they look brand new. Just look at get rid of that bloody ladder that's been sitting in the corner of your gym since 3 years ago when you put something up and never moved the ladder. Just try and make your facility look as brand new as you possibly can. Maybe you spend a little bit of money on putting in a kids area or a crèche or something like that. But these are in order of importance. Improving your coaching service is absolutely the most important, will bring the most value that your members will notice. Improving your off-the-floor service is second, and improving your facility is third. So we've built value. Man, this question's going on way longer. Where are we? 1, 2, 3. Step 4, communicate the rise. How you do this is massively important. The wrong way to do it is with an email, right? Hey guys, as of this date, we're raising the prices. This price rise is necessary because of inflation and blah. That's the wrong way to do this, right? This is an important thing to do. This is an important step for the business. You want to make sure that you do it. Give it the attention that it deserves. Yeah. Again, if you do this wrong, it can absolutely go wrong. So put the effort in. My recommendation, surprise, surprise, is a video. Why? Because the same reasons as question number 1. People can feel what you feel. They can see the subtext. When you say, look, guys, it's never fun to have to do a price rise. It's something I wish we absolutely couldn't do. But as much as I don't want to do a price rise, I don't want to get into a position where we can't keep operating the gym even more. So we're going to do the right thing for the gym. We're going to do the right thing for you guys long term. And we're going to do a small price rise. We've worked really hard to keep this price rise as minimal as possible. We've also put the majority of the price rise burden onto new members. We're giving you guys a smaller price rise than the new members because we appreciate you guys for being around and being part of the community for so long. And go through it like that. People can then feel that, okay, I can see that this is a pained decision. This isn't something that they're stoked about. We're not going to sugarcoat it. We're not going to try and make it feel good. We're going to be honest about it. Look, guys, I wish I didn't have to do a price rise, but the economic reality is what it is. And fitness is a lifestyle. We don't want to be here for another 6 months. We want to be here for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. And we can't do that if we're not sustainable financially. So this is what we're going to do to make sure that we keep the doors open. We can keep paying our coaches. We can keep giving you guys the service that you deserve. So we put together a video that explains all of this in an honest and transparent way. One of the most important parts of the video is the last line will be, if you guys have any concerns at all or just want to chat, just want to get something off your chest, come and see me personally. I'll drop my personal mobile number below. I'm absolutely here for you guys. All right, make yourself available to people. Look, this is a big boy, big girl decision. Some people will be upset about it. You have to own that. And if someone wants to just get it off their chest that they're upset about the price rise, everything, the buck stops at you. It's all on you. So let them get it off their chest. Most people, very rarely does this happen, but when it does happen, they just want to be heard. They're not going to quit because of it. They're not asking you to not raise their prices. They just want you to shut up and listen while they complain a little bit. And that's fine. That's part of our job as leaders. So we finish with, hey, my door's open, my number's down below. Please come and talk with me. We do this announcement 6 weeks before the price rise. I will also send out an email that is just a purely admin email with the breakdown of their current prices, their new prices, and the dates everything will take effect. We do that. I know in some countries you legally have to do that, and there's a time period. You have to give people ample notice. But we're still going to send that price rise email out after the video goes out. And then the last step, this is the step that we all wish that we made years ago. Once the price rise is done, we schedule the next price rise. Look, I know a lot of you guys, it has been years since you've done a price rise. I know for a lot of boxes, you've never done a price rise, right? You might have been open 8 years and you've still got the same prices you had when you opened as an itty bitty box back then. Don't make that same mistake again. You know that your service gets better, there's more value in what you do, and inflation is real. Even if we're not going through this crazy time, prices go up constantly. So set for a year down the road. If you've done a small price rise, you might put another price rise in 6 months down the road, but at the most a year down the road, I'm going to schedule another price rise, and then you just start reverse engineering the value, and now you've got a whole year to build up that value with your coaching, with your off-the-floor service, and with your facility. So, whoa, that was a big answer. I apologize. Anyone who's still around, good on you. I know I need to raise my prices, but I'm scared of messing it up. How? We do the math, we structure the price rises, we build value, we communicate it in an honest and transparent way, and then we schedule the next damn price rise. Don't let that happen again. All right, I'm going to make the next bit really, really quick because this is a long video and I'm starving. So very quickly, quick promo, Vive Tribe. This is our new platform. It's group coaching, it's community support. The idea is it's a combination of myself and the other subject matter experts helping you guys get better with everything. We have a monthly theme. So next month's theme is going to be team development. So coach development, leadership, all of this important stuff that we can all get better at. But we've also got a lot of community support, peer support, where, you know, I might not have the answer, our team might not have the answer, but a random box in Brazil or in Amsterdam might have the perfect system, the perfect answer. So the way I see it is this is much like your CrossFit classes or your group fitness classes, where the value comes from a combination of the person leading and guiding the classes and the people to the left and right of them in the class itself. That's what we've built with the Vive Tribe. So we've got a 2-week free trial. If you sign up now for the free trial, you'll get the team leadership and coaching structure workshop next month, and you'll also get the coach development program, 6-week and 12-week breakdown workshop as well. Huge month next month. So let's move on because this video is 10 hours long. All right, question number 4. How do I stop myself from getting buried in the small but necessary daily tasks? This is a huge one. We've all had those days where you go in and you're busy and you're busy, you're doing stuff. And then at the end of the day, you go home and go, what did I do? It's just a bunch of nonsense. It was a bunch of noise, a bunch of busy work. It was all necessary, but I don't feel like I moved forwards. I feel like it took longer than it should have. So this is a problem. It's very hard to move forwards when we're drowning in all of this daily work. So step 1, we identify every repetitive weekly or monthly task, right? Write it down. You can do this off the top of your head, but you are going to miss some things. So open up a note in your phone, write all the things that you can think of now down, and then leave it for a week. And every time you do a task that's a repetitive task that you've done before or will do again, pop that in there as well. Then you'll have a reliable weekly task list. Then we're going to break all of those tasks down into a couple of categories. We're going to break it down into retention, growth and marketing, administration, team development, and then leftover, undefined type stuff. Then we're going to build the perfect week. And the perfect week is really simple. We're going to have a theme for each day of the week, and we're going to categorize those tasks like we just did. We're going to put them on a day so that they're all batched together. So that we can kind of keep our brain running on that same path, because thinking about retention is very different than thinking about coach development, is very different than thinking about marketing. So we're going to take all of the retention tasks and they're going to go on Monday. And we're going to do those first thing, get them out of the way, eat the frog. All of our growth and marketing tasks, Tuesday. Wednesdays for admin, Thursdays for team development, and then Friday is for all of the little stuff that didn't fit into a category, or for catch up. One of the big things that I've learned from some really great productivity coaches is don't fill up your calendar, because you're never going to get it done on time. Give yourself a flex day. And that's what Friday is. Friday is either catch up or freedom. If you got sick one day during the week, or just something came up, shit goes wrong, and you didn't get certain tasks done, they get bumped to Friday. They definitely get done by the end of the week, but we've got a free day Friday, so they get bumped to Friday. If you were on the ball and the weekend just happened to go perfectly, you get to Friday and there's nothing on that list, awesome. Take some time out. Look after yourself. go for a walk, go get out in nature, go do a class, practice what you preach, learn and play new sports regularly, right? Friday, the goal is to make it a freedom day, at least for a little bit of it. We still have to coach and that kind of stuff. But if not, it's a catch-up day. So we've got our perfect week. And then lastly, once we've got the perfect week, let the calendar be your boss. One of the biggest struggles as a gym owner, as a business owner in general, you don't have a boss constantly watching over your shoulder saying, do this today, do that. Why wasn't that done yesterday? I learned a long time ago to let my calendar be my boss. I just put every single task possible in the calendar. And then when I turn up in the morning, I just do whatever the calendar tells me to. It's easy. I don't have to remember. I don't have, writing a to-do list is great, but it's easy to kind of shift things around. If my calendar says at 8:30 I have to do this task, then that's just what gets done at 8:30. It's easy. It doesn't require a boss or someone looking over your shoulder. So how do you stop yourself from getting buried in the small but necessary daily tasks? Identify every repetitive task, divide it into the categories of retention, growth, marketing, admin, team development, and then create a perfect week with one of those categories on each day. And lastly, let your calendar be your boss. All right, last question. I feel like I'm going to lose my voice from this one. This is a huge 5-question Friday. Hope you guys are still with me. I feel like I didn't manage my coaches well in the beginning. How do I fix it now? Oh, I love this question. I love it for 2 reasons. Number one, the self-awareness to go, you know what? I fucked up with my coaches early on. Maybe I was too buddy-buddy. Maybe I was nervous as a leader and I didn't hold them to standards and I didn't guide them the way I should have. So that self-awareness is massive. It's something a lot of people lack. But also the willingness to go, all right, I fucked up. How do I fix it? I'm willing to step up now. Great question. I love it. Number one, own it, right? Not just internally. If you're asking this question, you're already owning it. That's great. But own it to your coaches, right? Pull them together and say, look, guys, I've been doing a bit of reflecting on my role as a leader to you guys. And I've realized that, in the past, right up to now, I've not been the leader that you guys needed. I've not given you the structure and the guidance that you guys deserve. And that's not good enough. I apologize for that. And I want you guys to know that I'm working actively on fixing that now. So there will be some changes, but I want you guys to know that these changes are going to come from a place of love and a place of leadership and guidance to you guys as the owner of the gym, right? Own it. Fall on your sword a little bit. People really, really respect when you can stand there and go, yeah, guys, I fucked up, but I'm going to make it better. That's step number one, own it. Step number two, get them invested. If I pulled any of your team aside, coaches, admin, whoever, and I said, what's this box's 5-year goals? Like, what are they trying to achieve? Not just, to make members fit and healthy. That's obvious. But what are the real growth goals? What are the real personal goals of the owners? What are the goals of the other coaches even? Would they be able to answer? For most people, the answer there is going to be no, they can't, and that's a problem. If your team doesn't know where this ship is heading, then how are they meant to contribute to that journey, right? So sit them down and go, all right, guys, this is what we're building, right? Pull back the curtain and get them invested in what you're building. And then lastly, give them some structure, right? A lot of box owners feel like putting systems on their coaches, putting rules on their coaches, they feel like that's kind of saying, being a bit of a dictator, saying you have to do this and you have to do that. It's not at all. Every seminar, we've got coaches there and I say, hey, coaches, who would like some guidance? Who would like some rules about what they're doing? Who would like to be able to turn up to work and know exactly what's expected of them and how that's going to be measured? And every time, every coach puts their hand up. We've all had those jobs where it was just wishy-washy. It was all gray area. Some days you'd do something and you'd get praised. The next day you'd get yelled at for doing the same thing. No one wants that job. Everyone wants clarity, and we give our coaches that clarity through structure. So a few things that we can do just to get started, really easy, like 5 minutes to implement type systems. Number one, coaching standards. All right, what do you expect from your coaches both on and off the floor universally that everyone, including you, is going to adhere to? Build that into the coaching standards. Get your coaches to be a part of building out those coaches' standards so they're invested in it, and then hold them to it. Yeah, don't let it slip. Don't let them slip once. Second thing would be the weekly coaches brief. So no matter who the coach is, no matter how long they've been with you, how long they've been a coach. They all turn up to every single class with all the information they need. Everything from the intent of that class, right down to which members have got injuries, what modifications they're going to need for those injuries. If there's any other notes on members, maybe you got a member who's being a bit of a pain in the ass, or who needs a bit more of close attention because they got something going on in their personal life. All your coaches have this information, not because you hopefully remembered to tell them, but because it's all written down there in your weekly coach's brief. Monthly coach assessment. This is for all of your coaches, including you. You're going to watch them do a class every single month without fail. And by the way, your coaches want this, right? Ask them. They want to be assessed because they want to be better coaches. Any coach who doesn't want to be a better coach, maybe it's time to let them go. I've not met one yet, but monthly coach assessment. We're going to sit down, look at all aspects of their coaching, both the art of coaching and the science of coaching, and we're going to assess them on it, and then we're going to sit down with them and go through what they did well, what they could do better, come up with a strategy for them to improve that, give them the resources that they need, and then next month we're going to do it again, and we're going to have last month's monthly coach assessment there ready to go. We'll see, did they improve on the things that we agreed they'd improve on? Yes, awesome. What can they improve on next month? It's a non-stop cycle. This is how you build a badass coaching team. And none of us are above a monthly coach assessment. So even you as the owner, you get one of your coaches to watch you. Okay, if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for you. And you should want the feedback anyway. And then lastly, regularly ask for feedback. All right, if you know that leadership isn't your thing, let your coaches know. Look, leadership isn't my thing. I'm working on it, but guys, I really am working on it. I'm reading books. I'm seeking out mentors. All the stuff we talked about in last week's 5-Question Friday. But I want some feedback from you guys. What can I do better? How am I going as a leader? How am I going as a coach? What can I do better? Yeah, these are the people that know. And most of us don't ask these questions because we don't want the answer, right? The answer is kind of scary. What if they say I suck? Great, awesome. You know you suck. That's why you're scared to ask them, right? If you ask them, they can at least help you define exactly why you suck as a leader, and then you can work on it. You can get better. So I feel like I didn't manage my coaches in the beginning. How do I fix it now? Number one, own it. Make sure your coaches know that you own it. Number two, get them invested. Show them what you're building. And number three, build some structures with some very simple systems. Woo! That was a massive one. I can't believe we got through that in one take. Guys, I appreciate you so much. I need questions for next week's 5-Question Friday, so drop them down below, or you can shoot me a message anytime. Vive Tribe is alive and well and kicking and so much fun. I'll drop a link to a 2-week trial down below. I appreciate you all. Have an amazing, amazing weekend. You all deserve it, and I'll see you next time. Appreciate you guys.